Welcome, folks, to another PyMCon interview. Today, I have Phan, and he's going to be giving a talk on multi-output Gaussian processes, of which all the details you can find as part of our web series. So if this is your first time seeing PyMCon, you can just go to pymccon.com, and you'll find all the events that we've already had, and you can see upcoming events like Dan's, who at the time of recording will be next week. But with that, I want to give it to Dan to let him introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining our session today. And I'm really happy to join as a speaker to introduce about multi-output Gaussian processes in PyMC. And thank you, the PyMC team, for prepare and do everything for that event.
Well, Dan, you're part of the PyMC team, so I always have to give you credit there as well. I wanted to ask you, how did you get involved with Bayesian statistics first? Let me ask you that first question. How did you get into this whole field of Gaussian processes and uncertainty and everything like that?
Yes, so a little bit about myself. I have a background in computer science, and after finishing my bachelor degree, I worked as a software engineer and web development for a couple of years. And in that time, I designed database and doing SQL as well. And then I moved to study in Australia and learn about machine learning and data mining, which really interested in. Thus led me to move to doing research in machine learning at Monash University. And in my research, we want to not only apply machine learning for transport, but we want to understand why the use of deep learning might have in some area, but for others, one on explainability, I found that Myasian is a way to do that. And that's made me start to learning about probabilistic machine learning in Myasian Approach and start to learn about PyMC and with the book about the hacker for
Bayesian method for hackers, right? By Cam David.
Yeah. And I start with that and then move to the example in PyMC, and from that I start to learning about Bayesian start with PyMC, and it really is a great example to learn from that, and it makes it a lot easier to understand when you just run the code and see the data set, its input and output, and or the prior distribution or the posterior distribution, and that's why I go in love with PyMC. I want to contribute to that.
I have to say, you had one of the most successful Google Summer of Code projects. So could you tell folks about your experience contributing on Google Summer of Code and how you got started contributing to PyMC?
To be honest, I don't remember, but the way I started doing PyMC because I use this and also learned Myasian from PyMC. So from that, I want to have something back to the community, PyMC community as well. So that's why I look at the source code of PyMC and see they have some issues, and from that, just ask for some suggestion and then do the contribution. And actually, it is my first experience to contribute to open source as well. And the good thing is the PyMC team at that time, Ricardo, he really supportive and helped me go through a lot of difficult steps with GitHub, Git rebase, etc. And from that, I also learned a lot of new things as well. And yeah, I think that is my experience with the PyMC team. So the people is really nice and really helpful, and that's what environment you want to work with or you want to learn with.
I couldn't agree with you more. And something I wanted to highlight is on my side too, I think my first PR was like a 2-character typo fix in a README. Like it had nothing to do with statistics or Python even or any complicated bit. It was just a little fix in a README. But then I saw how nice Chris and others were and got sucked in as well. So I'm glad you've got that experience. For my last question, is there any advice or words of wisdom you want to share with the PyMCon attendees?
I think that try to be involved in the community. So the PyMC team have a Discord website, have a GitHub repos. So I think anyone can contribute and involve in that. And I think it's a better way to learn, to improve, and also to contribute back to the community. Just ask questions. I mean, if you have some issues, you can post it either in PyMC issues, or you can also ask questions on PyMC discourse. And there is a lot of great people in the community. They can answer the question or help you to explore different direction as well. So that's my approach as well. Like I try to learn and to contribute and to explore that.
That's fantastic advice. Thank you so much. So, folks, Dan's talk is on multi-output Gaussian processes, and he's an expert on it because he's the guy who put it into PyMC. So it's definitely one to get familiar with and to watch. Again, you can find all the details on pymccon.com, or you can find them on the discourse, where there will be both the information for the upcoming talk if you're watching this before we've had the event, or if you're watching this after we've had the event. The recording and all of that will be linked on both the discourse and also be on YouTube. So
one final note here is I'm actually not an expert in that field. Actually, I'm still learning, and multi-output Gaussian process is an extension from single Gaussian processes. And I'm still learning actually. So hopefully from the work, I get some feedback and learn from other people as well.
Yeah. Well, Dan, I bet by the time people see this video in the future, you're going to be an expert, even if it's just a week from now. Thank you, folks, for joining in. Again, all the information will be on the website, and we hope to see you in the series.
Thank you very much.